Good morning and welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm your host, Jill Malandrino, global markets reporter at Nasdaq. Joining me at the market site in Times Square, New York City, we have Frank Slootman. He's the CEO of Snowflake. We also have Benoit Dageville. He's the co-founder of Snowflake as well. We're going to talk about enabling every business to be data-driven. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us at MarketSite. Now, Snowflake, you've played an evolutionary role in the cloud and data spaces. What challenges were you looking to provide solutions for?
Yeah, I would say first it's more revolution than evolution. So we built Snowflake from the ground up for the cloud to leverage the elasticity of the cloud and compute on demand such that you can burst compute and use it when you need it, and then when you don't need it, you can shut it down. So Snowflake is very elastic in that way, and you can add, as much work as you need for how much time as you need it, and then you can scale down, when you don't need to use the system. So it's really pay on demand.
So tell us about Snowflake's unique infrastructure.
Yeah, we have developed for the cloud a very different and distinct architecture. We call it the multi-cluster shared data architecture, but that's what it means. It means separate compute from storage. So Snowflake is about analyzing data, and the data is stored separately from where it's computed, and customer can spin up, different clusters to all, access the same data and work, do the analysis. So each workload can run on a separate pool of compute resources, which is sized, for that particular workload, which can be stopped, when this workload is not, executing. So that's the benefit of compute on demand and leveraging the cloud.
So how is Snowflake different than other data solutions that are available?
Well, like Benoit was saying, it's very, very different from the traditional on-premise data warehouse solutions that people have been familiar with over the last, say 20, 30 years. The number one thing that is different is it's completely capable of addressing the scale of the cloud, and the cloud is infinite scale effectively. So it's really opening up the possibility for institutions and enterprises to process as much data as fast as they are capable of using the capacity that is now out there. It used to be businesses were very confined in terms of how much work they could do. Now it's completely opened up, and then we see customers literally going 10x in terms of the amount of processing that they're doing in a very short period of time, because they can.
Right, and that was my follow-up question to you. How is Snowflake helping businesses make better decisions and also improve the customer experience?
Yeah, the whole notion of data-driven means that businesses want to process data as it originates as quickly as possible. This reduction in what we call latency is very critical. So the moment, say, somebody walks by a store, we capture that data, analyze that data, and then the system makes a decision whether it's going to confront that person with a change in the experience they're getting or a specific offer. So the velocity of the data and the reduction in latency creates all these opportunities for enterprises to address their consumer audience directly and in almost real time. This is a very, very powerful thing, and we're experiencing that as consumers already.
And at the same time, Snowflake is completely a service, managed service, so customers, they don't need to manage all the infrastructure behind the scene. So the system does that, so it makes it super easy to do this type of analysis.
So is Snowflake, would you say it's a true SaaS offering, software as a service?
Actually, Snowflake is not a SaaS offering. SaaS really means that you're licensing use rights for a period of time. We're actually a utilization base. We're like a utility, right? So you buy capacity, use capacity. You're not purchasing use rights from it. And if you're not using it, you're not paying anything.
Right. Do you think the industry is going to, or all businesses are going to continue to evolve into this model and completely leave data warehouses and everything will be available on the cloud?
Yeah, absolutely. The public cloud platforms, the Amazon Web Services, Microsoft Azure, Google GCP, and so on, are really driving the business models, the utilization models. So we view SaaS as being sort of transitional. At some point, all software will be consumed in this manner.
All right, now I'm sure you deal with this question all of the time. How concerned are you with security within the cloud?
Well, we're super concerned with it because our customers are super concerned with it, but they're concerned already. Sometimes it's like, if you're on-premise in your own data centers, having a breach is better than when you have one in the cloud. Because the cloud is perceived as having a less secure model. Well, we don't really agree with that. The cloud can be just as secure or even more so.
Much more secure,
yeah, much more secure than an on-premise model. It's just psychologically, large institutions are slowly getting there, and they're sort of hedging their bets. But it's inevitable that everything is moving towards the cloud. We're taking their time. There's sort of natural friction, in the industry of getting there.
All right, and to wrap up here, what do the cloud and data industries look like in the next 3 to 5 years?
Well, it's going to be huge.
Right. Well,
Yes.
Let me give you a quick example. We are already processing north of 300 million queries per day, and it's growing 3x annually, right? It's almost hard to get your head around how rapidly the world is moving towards this computing model.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us at MarketSite.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining me on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.